standing there and talking, I just thought it'd be a little different vibe. I saw ma'am, I said, let's sit together. This is a better chance for me to do that. So, Pooja, if you can just speak about your journey. I mean, it's a very interesting story that you have, from the mind to the menu, joining a family business. You've got a lovely story. If you can share exactly what you would to the people.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Hello. So it's actually quite different for me to sit here because I've been there as a student listening to speakers speak, and I kind of know how it feels. So yes, I come from a family background. So my grandfather actually started the brand Adya Anand Bhavan, and I stepped into the business. It's been 4 years now. So my father, right, so he's always like, I've grown up seeing the brand being built. So when my father got into the business, he was 13 years when he started working. So my grandfather started this brand with just one branch, and majorly the expansion was done by my father and my uncle. So I've really seen the struggle of a startup and to see them build. And this business, especially the food industry, was super competitive even when they started. They started as a sweets and savories brand initially, and then ventured into the restaurant as well. So it was always inspiring for me. Like, I had no other dreams in life other than to take up my family business. I had no other goals. I was just wanting to follow my parents' path and take it up. And then life happened. I went into depression, and then mental health happened. And I started taking up therapy for myself. And I think, irrespective of however good our education has been, whatever school I've studied in, colleges I've studied in, I had no exposure to mental health at all. Or even in terms of talking about depression, or even the word depression was something that was not known to me. So I think to identify that I went through something was the hardest. And then to reach out for help and then working on myself was much easier, I would say. And that was the reason for me to start an NGO on mental health, because I feel there is a lack of awareness. And the more and more I spoke about it, I also felt there were a lot of people in need of a platform, a voice to destigmatize this. And that's how I got into Transformind. And now I'm planning to start a company on mental health. Because I feel therapy, so for example, the talk therapy is not helpful for everyone. It's different for different people, right? So there are other forms of therapeutic activities as well. And also the affordability is a major challenge in our country. It's still not everyone's, the budget is not planned around the health or this mental health majorly. So we're trying to like tap on those avenues and build a brand out of it. So I'm also trying to be a startup entrepreneur now.
Fantastic. I mean, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're doing something on your own, and you're also following a legacy. Now, it's not easy. I mean, when you get into it, your father, your grandfather, they've already set something up, and you come in with a young mind. You know, we all are young. We say, we'll do it the new way, we'll do it the cool way, we'll do it the better way. We think we know better. So, did you change a few things, or did you adapt to what they had, or was it like, Ile Appa, I will do like this only? How was it?
No, I don't think you can ever say, no, I'm going to do it my way, because, I mean, they have built it, and the brand is what it is today, and they know what they're doing. So I think no, I don't think you can ever say, no, I'm going to do it my way, because, I mean, they have built it, and the brand is what it is today, and they know what they're doing. So I think our generation, so my brother, my cousin brother, my sister, everyone has started getting into the business. We have helped them adopt to the new technologies, for example, the digitalization, which they were not much aware of. And I also felt at some space, getting much closer to the customer is very, very important to understand what the customer needs, because the trends keep changing. So we just can't like sit on top and say, this is what I'm going to give you, and you need to like, you know, make use of it. Like, we need to constantly keep upgraded for the brand to survive. So I think we kind of are working on a lot of things that way. And we've also like, trying to take our products all over the place as much as possible, even the rural areas. So we're getting into retails slowly. So as next generation, we are working together. We can't really say that, you know, the old technique never works. You just need to adopt to everything new. So it goes hand in hand. So that's what we're trying to build. And every day is a learning for us as well. So
absolutely. If you all have any questions, please free to raise your hand and ask her. I have many questions. So I'll be waiting for you all to come. Do you have any questions there? Just
Namaste,
wait.
ma'am.
Just wait. I have many questions. But you start now.
I'm Georgian of grade 8 from Reachwell School. So quality and cost gets unbalanced equally. If one gets low, the other gets down as well. So how do you balance it in such a way that it makes your customer feel good to you?
So we never compromise on quality. I think that's what helps us stand out as a brand. So we try to cut costs on other aspects, but quality is always our prime importance. And we also make sure that we're not burdening the customers just because we're giving them the quality. So that's how we make plans. So we strategize it in a way that the quality is never compromised. At the same time, the price is affordable and it's worth for the product, for the customer to enjoy it as a whole.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions? He got up very eagerly.
Namaste, ma'am.
Which is your favorite restaurant?
Of course, A to B.
What's your favorite dish there?
Actually, I love all the chaat items.
No. Tell me one. We're on a diet. Choose one.
No, I enjoy all the dosa varieties in our brand, and not so much of a sweet person, so I enjoy a lot of savories. Like
When the person is sweet, we don't need anything sweet.
Namaste, ma'am.
Huh.
I'm Tarun of class 11 from SSAM School of It. Ma'am, what does mental health means to you, and how did seeing a therapist help you in your life?
Superb.
Okay, so today mental health is everything for me. So I speak more and lot about mental health. Sometimes my own friends find me boring for that, but I think it's extremely important as well. So when I say mental health, right, so it's health as a whole. Your physical health is equally important, your mental health is equally important, your emotional health is equally important, your spiritual health is equally important. So when I say spirituality, I don't mean any religion. For me, spirituality is nature. So it differs for different people. But to answer your question, like I said, it was hard for me to first identify that I was not okay, and then to accept the fact that I needed help. Because we always want to feel strong and then that we don't need anyone to help us out. But the more and more I neglected what I was going through, it just kept getting harder for me. So when I started therapy, I didn't have any hope. For me, therapy actually sounded really dumb initially. For me to just go talk to a therapist and just tell them what I'm going through, I just thought, how is it really going to help me? It's just going to be like a story that I'm narrating it to someone. But there are very, very small techniques that she taught me, or she wanted me to work on myself, that has brought me a long way. So I had suicidal ideations in between. So the depression was really bad, where it just kept getting worse, and it was not helping when I wanted to deal it by myself. And I didn't know whom to talk to. I didn't know if people will actually understand what I was going through. In fact, after I started therapy, when I started feeling better, when I started speaking about my experiences more, there were also a small group of people who were telling me that you're coming from a certain family, and if you're being vocal about these experiences, it's like letting them down, or it's like making yourself weak. And there were also people who told me that you're not grateful for so many things that you have in life. There's something that you always look for. But unfortunately, that's not how your mind works. That's something people fail to understand. And I also personally feel this whole logic of therapy, right? It should be something, everyone should do it regularly. You shouldn't wait for something extreme to happen to you to start therapy. So I have a daughter, she's 4 years old, and I'm planning to put her on therapy with a child psychologist when she turns 8, because kids will be able to talk about emotions more after they turn 7. So I think it's extremely important that way, and it's getting better, especially after COVID. People are talking a lot about mental health. The stigma is coming down, the trends are changing a lot, but we still have a long way to go, because there needs to be a lot of government policies that need to be supporting on these lines. But I think we're getting better day by day.
Thank you.
Very nice question. As we beat on this point of mental health, today I think people don't understand the word depression. They say CSK lost, macha, I am depressed. And iPhone is too expensive, I am depressed. There's dejection, there's sadness, there's failure, and then there's depression. Not depression, depression. Correct. So how do you realize this is sadness, it's not depression? And when do you realize, oops, this is depression? Does someone tell you, or do you realize it? Is there self-examination?
It's a process. So it's a learning especially. So one of the things that my therapist has given me actually, which I've kept it on my fridge with a magnet, is the emotion wheel. There are like so many emotions. Even when you say you're sad, there are again like so many other emotions that narrows you down. Unfortunately, growing up, we are not allowed to feel our emotions. It's just like, even for example, boys, like when you cry, you're like, stop crying. You're not supposed to cry. Just be normal. Everything's
Be a
gonna
boy,
fine.
don't cry.
Exactly, like don't cry. Come on, you need to be strong. So, I mean, crying is not weak. I mean, you need to feel your emotions, and to understand those, I think you need to like experience it, and you don't always have to be strong. It's fine.
I think to portray your weakness itself is strength.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It takes a lot to talk
Yeah.
about it. Absolutely.
How many of you all are on social media, all you young guys?
Sir, I
here?
have a question.
Sir,
I'm-
sir, you have a question for sir?
Okay, senior, I have a question.
Ah.
I'm here.
Ah.
Yes. Namaste, ma'am.
Hi.
I'm Anna Cruz of grade 12 from SSVM World School. Before the question part, I just wanted to say this. You're beautiful.
How I agree with you.
Yes, my question is, which has been more valuable in your career, your education, or your experience?
I think my life experience. I hands down give it to that. No matter, I'm not a first bench student. I failed. Like, I hate studies. I was a last bench student and everything. I'm not proudly asking you to follow me, but I'm just letting you guys know.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been under the pressure of not performing really well in my studies. I've been under the pressure of, because you're coming from background, you need to be good at whatever you're doing. You have no other career choices or anything. But I think the more and more you let life happen to you, and more you consider your failures as your experiences, life will just take you to your destiny. That's what I believe in, because nothing of what I do today is something that I've planned. I didn't have like a 5-year plan, or the next 10 years. If you ask me what I'm going to do, I have no idea, and I don't want to think about it. I'm just taking my life every single day at a time and trying to go by it. So hands down to my life experiences.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Is there something that, we always say, we're today's entrepreneurs, we are the new age entrepreneurs. What is it that we need to learn from the past generation? And what is it today that if you want to be successful and be today's entrepreneur, what does it stand for? So what do we learn and what do we give?
So I've had this comparison with my dad. I just think about what are the things he has followed. What does it take for me to be as successful as he is? But I also feel they didn't have a rule book. They didn't have okay, these are the things I need to do, these are the things I need to follow. And if you also look at different entrepreneurs, everyone has different style for themselves. No one has set rules of this is what you need to do. So that way, I think you just need to find your purpose, like Sir said. You just need to find your passion and just go behind it. Just blindly go behind it. You really need not always just choose to be a doctor or any kind of professional that the society has set rules for you. You can always create your own industry, and you never know, you might inspire millions of people behind you. You never know what life throws at you. So
Lovely, fantastic. Any other questions? Or we've always been talking, final question, as she said, ma'am, you're beautiful. So, but, we've always been talking about what to do, what to do, what to do. What should we not do? Give me one thing that an entrepreneur today should not do. Don't say, ma'am, you're beautiful.
I think you don't have to fall for the pressure that you need to take as an entrepreneur. Because you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't mean that you have to do things a certain way. You just have to always be focused. It's okay, fail. Learn from your mistakes. There's always a learning behind everything. And like I said, just take life. It's beautiful. Running behind money, everything is okay. But I also know people, super successful people, when they turn 50, 60, they have so many regrets in life. Not being able to spend time with family. When they grow old, the kids, grow up, and then they have their own life. And then when they, all of a sudden, then they have a pause. there's a lot of generation clash that way, right? So I think life, you just need to enjoy it, like live in the moment, pause at certain times, and just take it easy.